Hi everyone and welcome. I've had the EOS R6 for a couple of weeks now, and needless to say I've been thoroughly impressed with it. Now when the EOS R6 was announced, a lot of people turned their noses up at the 20 megapixel sensor, but over the last week or so I've been using it throughout the Pacific Northwest and I've had no complaints with its 20 megapixel limitation. I have a history of using a lot of different cameras ranging from the EOS R to the A7R3 and the A7 III, and megapixels are not everything. As a photographer, first and foremost, 20 megapixels has been more than enough, and the quality of these megapixels are definitely better than what I've seen in the EOS R and even the A7 III. To go over the specifications quickly, 20 megapixel dual pixel CMOS sensor with dual pixel autofocus, up to 20 frames per second with electronic shutter and 12 frames per second with the mechanical shutter. The thing that impressed me the most was the in-body stabilization. When combined with an IS lens, you can get up to 8 stops of image stabilization, which enables shots like this at a very slow shutter speed to be done handheld. Now, one of the benefits of having a 20 megapixel sensor versus having a higher megapixel count is its low light performance in both video and photo. I would never usually shoot at 25,600 ISO, but just for the sake of a test, I put it to that after the sun had gone down and took this photograph. As we can see, the noise in the shadows is very well managed and the detail is very well preserved as well. When I shot with the EOS R and even the Sony A7 III and the A7R III, I would never go beyond 6400 ISO unless I was shooting astrophotography. The performance was just not acceptable, but I've been thoroughly impressed with how the EOS R6 has managed low light and even incredibly high ISO going above 20,000. Now over the last year or so I've switched between the Canon EOS R and the Sony A7 III or A7R III, and I've been going back and forth just because I hadn't been happy with just how they felt to use. I loved the EOS R, its ergonomics, but there were just some things lacking which the Sonys had. However, I missed the ergonomics of the Canon, and the R6 has definitely met in the middle and provided me with all those things that I have wanted and looked for in a camera. Now, I've mentioned multiple times before that photo is kind of my main area and video is definitely something that I'm learning kind of on the go. However, just from using various different cameras to do some slight behind the scenes video, the R6 has just been incredible and such a joy to use. The added image stabilization that has been an upgrade over the R has been an absolute game changer. Now if you're shooting with Sony, obviously you're going to be used to this, but just combining that with the RF lenses and their image stabilization, it's just, you don't really need a gimbal for most things. It's incredible how smooth and stabilized you can get video handheld, and you can combine it with the digital image stabilization as well. Now that does crop in a little bit, but you have that on top of the IBIS and the lens stabilization. It is just so steady, it is unreal. Just some specs real quick for the video. It's got 10-bit in-body recording. The Canon log is incredible, so much better in my opinion than any other camera's log profile. And also we have uncropped 4K finally up to 60 frames per second, which is just absolutely stunning. Now one final thing that I wanted to talk about is that when you're in video you have the option to put a Rec 709 LUT over the C-Log image, so that when you're recording on your preview screen you will have that LUT put into place in real time, so you can see how it would look essentially once you've edited it. It's no longer a flat image profile, although it is recording flat. You can see in real time the correct exposure and the way the light is rendering those colors as well, which has just been a game changer for run and gun shooting. So in conclusion, I can highly recommend the R6 over the R and the RP. The improvements are just an absolute game changer in terms of ergonomics and the additional dials, as well as the IBIS and the uncropped 4K, and just the incredibly clean sensor and high FPS in photo mode. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Once again, if you have any questions, just shoot me a message or drop a comment below. Please stay tuned, as I'm going to try and pump out one video every week and get this channel up and running again. Thanks for all the support, and I'll see you next time.
Hip hop is a way of a way of thinking.